This is my year-long Minecraft hardcore world, and I'm deleting it in 30 days. But before then, I want to make this world perfect. So I'm going to spend this remaining month adding 50 builds to this world, the hardest thing I've ever done. So, like this video real quick, and let's get into this final chapter of Hardcore Minecraft. This first build is one I wanted to do for a very long time because in another reality, this could have been my starter base. Last June, I started recording season 2 in an entirely different world, but the footage corrupted, so I just made a new world. However, in that time, I did build a starter base that I really liked, and I really wanted to rebuild it here, and this seems like the perfect opportunity. And this style just fits perfectly into our current world. Just one build has already used up an entire day. We're really gonna need to pick up the pace, but I'm not ready to end this world until it's completely perfect. Some builds just have no purpose though, like this mine I just built. I think it looks really cool, but it's just here for no reason. I just had a space in this world I wanted to fill, and I figured it would give a reason for how these people, whoever these people in this village are, how they're building with stone. And although a lot of the builds we're doing today are gonna be huge, there's some small details we can still add, like trees. Trees, although they're small, make such a big difference in terms of like helping the world feel more alive. I think it'll make a big difference just to add 4 or 5 trees. Back over by our first house, there's still 2 areas over here, this and this, that really could use some detail. So I think over here I'm going to put a market stand. And right here, I think we should just go ahead and add some trees. And that's how you add life to an area of your world. Over here you can see we got this pretty vegetated area with a ton of trees and just details all along the ground. And then over here we've got this market area. Just little sections like this help add so much life to the world. I really like making these market stands everywhere. One area that I made like 500 days ago that I never showed on camera was this little area around our sugarcane farm and this other house. Just a ton of market stands. This has to be my favorite part of the world. Just this little area in here, it adds so much life, there's so much going on. I think a few trees just like this really improve this area, and I feel like I can call it pretty much complete. But now it's time for us to branch off and do some of our other projects with our next build, a path. A really big path that splits a bunch of different directions. There's slime blocks here, which will lead to something we're gonna do. And then it's slime blocks this way, which leads all the way to our giant ruin over here. I eventually want to have a path going all the way back to our tree farm, but for now, just this little area will do just fine. I'm sick of making paths. The one thing I'm not sick of though is adding small little details throughout our world. And one detail I think I'd really add to this area is some sort of pond or something small like that. Because there's a lot of farmland over here, but there's just not a source of water yet. And I think a pond right about here could fix that. And I'm thinking, what better way to admire this incredible world than by building a cliff right here that we can stand on and look out over our world. Is it necessary? Probably not, but I just really want to do it for some reason. And I'm really excited about this one. Starting with one of my favorites, the huge house I designed to go over top of this cactus farm. But before we do that, let me quickly tell you about our first ever sponsor, Factor 75. Factor is a meal delivery service that delivers fresh, never frozen meals straight to your door. It's super convenient and really healthy. And all it took was 2 minutes in the microwave and I had a delicious, healthy meal waiting for me. Plus, the menus are updated every week and include 27 plus meals and 34 add-on options. If no more meal prep or dirty dishes sounds good for you, then use my link or go to go.factor75.com and use my code for 50% off your first box. Thanks to Factor for sponsoring my video and allowing me to take way too long on some of these builds. Luckily for me, this next big build is made mostly out of blocks we already have, so I just had to strip some wood and pretty much just collect everything into a few shulker boxes to begin the build. Did I mention we've already used half of the month just to build this stuff? This has already been the hardest thing I've ever done. I have no clue how I'm gonna finish this all, but trust me, it has to be perfect. One of our bigger builds is complete, and I think this turned out really cool. It's sort of like an evolution a bit of this castle up here. I stuck to pretty much the exact same style. I tried to add some of my more modern texturing and stuff like that, and I think it turned out really cool. One other thing I tried with this house for the first time was adding some fake interiors, like to these big windows up here. You can see there's a little room right there and also on the back as well. And there's no way to actually access these rooms, but it makes it look like there's actually something in there, so I don't have to decorate the entire inside of it. Plus, most of the inside is just a cactus farm anyways, so thinking my next build should probably be some sort of interior for this. So let's do that now. I finished the little interior on this house, and it was kind of tricky because there's not actually a lot of space in here, but I think I was able to pack a lot of detail into this tiny little area. And doing this interior kind of inspired me to keep doing more interiors throughout this world. The one that I've just completely forgotten about for the last 7 or 8 months or something is this. My castle that I built in episode 2 that is just left unfinished since like August or something. So I think we need to get in here, build some sort of throne room. The reason I even built this in the first place was to house this iron farm, but now I'm realizing this iron farm is kind of gonna get in the way of what I want to do, so maybe we'll just get rid of the iron farm and then worry about having no iron later. The throne room of our castle should be complete. I completely transformed this room and I loaded it up with tons and tons of detail. You can see I have this carpet here made out of yellow glazed terracotta. I, for some reason, have been really liking glazed terracotta, believe it or not. All the way up to this throne here. And then there's just a bunch of random details like these cool fire lamps I didn't steal from Scar, this little armor in a case, a ton of paintings, and for some lighting I put these candles all over the floor. And 9 months later, we can finally call my starter castle pretty much complete. But now we're down to 11 days. Little did I know my next build would take every single one. I decided to design a full city street with a ton of houses along it to go inside of our village. And in my quest to make every build I did perfect, I decided to design the entire thing in creative, taking 2 full days just to work out the tons of different blocks I was gonna need. And collecting all those blocks took another 2 whole days. Although the replay mod footage corrupted, I still managed to record quite a bit of the process of designing these houses, and I plan on uploading them to my second channel. And as I finished these houses, I completely ran out of time, but the world had to be perfect, so I just kept on building. So I built a field, then another one, then another flower field. Then I went ahead and freehanded an entire row of houses. It had already been way past a month, but I just decided to keep going and going. Until I stopped, and I realized, in my quest to make everything perfect, I finally realized what my biggest problem in this world is, and the reason why there are month gaps between each of my videos. It's because I strive to make everything that I do on YouTube perfect. And every video I make has to be better than the last, or else it's not good. Or at least that's what my thought process has been for months. And it's kept me from making a lot of great videos, I think. So I decided there's only one thing I can do. I want to play this world for one more day. Build one final build. It won't be finished, it won't be perfect, but it's still something that I can be proud of. And then began the final day of this world. I watched the sunrise from the place we hit 10,000 subscribers. Then I headed to our new castle to drop off my armor and tools so I could just walk around the world for the remaining few minutes. And as I stood on top of the castle, it was finally time.